These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
State of Arizona versus Lori Daybell, CR 2021-001704-001, verdict count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn in the above entitled action, upon our oaths, do find the defendant, Lori Daybell, as to the crime of count 1, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder occurring on or about July 11, 2019, guilty.
And you're hearing it right there, a guilty verdict for Lori Daybell. It took a jury of her peers just hours to decide that she conspired to commit first-degree murder of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, back in 2019.
Tracking your top local stories now, starting with the search for a shooter in Phoenix. Phoenix police confirming with ABC15 2 teenagers were shot near the I-17 in Camelback. This was the scene last night around 6. Police tell us the victims were rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. They say the suspect took off before they got there. We're working to get a description from police. And state Senate Republicans are pushing back on Governor Katie Hobbs's decision to veto the Arizona ICE Act. The bill would have forced state agencies and local governments to cooperate with federal immigration authorities. Senate President Warren Peterson said he is considering a ballot measure to have voters decide. In her veto letter, Governor Hobbs said she would continue to work with the federal government on border security, but state and local officials should not take orders from D.C. And Arizona lawmaker is demanding answers on a series of murders inside Arizona prisons this month. They're asking the Department of Corrections about staffing and security measures in place before an inmate allegedly killed 3 other inmates earlier this month. Our ABC15 investigators staying on top of this case. Find our continuing coverage on ABC15.com. A heartfelt follow-up as a family reunites with the dog who helped save a missing child. As we've reported, Buford helped find the 2-year-old child who wandered away from home in Yavapai County. The sheriff's office presented the pup with a special certificate and the boy a special badge for his bravery. Well done. Tracking your top national headlines now, starting with the next steps to phase out food dyes. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy is targeting dyes in cereal, ice cream, and snacks. The health effects of the dyes are not fully understood, but many other countries have either banned the additives outright or required food packaging warning labels about the health risk. Secretary Kennedy hopes to phase them out in the next 2 years. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is strongly denying that he shared military plans in a second group chat using the Signal app. He blames former staffers, saying they want to sabotage the president's agenda. The White House is defending him, saying no classified information was shared. And the Supreme Court is taking up a case that puts parental rights up against public school curriculum. Justices heard arguments from parents in Maryland who want to opt their children out of lessons featuring LGBTQ-themed storybooks. The parents of multiple religious backgrounds say the books conflict with their religious beliefs. School officials argue education means exposing students to diverse ideas. Lower courts have sided with the school board. A ruling is expected this June.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens. The 90s are back. It is a very warm week here in the Valley, and we've got another day in the 90s tomorrow. Nice and cool in the morning at 65 degrees, but we're going to warm up fast. 75 at 9 a.m., 85 at noon, and low 90s throughout the afternoon forecast. Winds for the Valley generally light, but just look at all these breezes that'll pick up across northern Arizona and southern Arizona tomorrow. And breezy winds are going to be in the forecast in these spots every single day this week. And for the Valley, even picking picking up Friday through the weekend and early next week, too, as this storm system approaches our state. It's not going to have a lot of moisture with it. In fact, we're looking pretty dry here across Arizona, but we will pick up winds and will drop temperatures through the weekend. And perhaps on the backside of that, maybe a few isolated showers by Tuesday across the high country. But our forecast does stay dry in the valley, 90s through Friday. Then we drop to the 80s, down to 82 by Sunday before we start another climb.